Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a look at Transformers Generation Studio Series 8631 Galvatron. Oddly enough, this is the same Studio 6 numbering as Optimus Prime. I have a feeling that, I think they announced in an interview or something that it was a typo. And obviously they're getting rid of the numbering of Studio Series entirely, so it doesn't really matter so much anymore. The packaging is not going to be consistent. But what we have in front of us is Transformers Generations Kingdom Leader Class Galvatron from War for Cybertron in a Studio Series paint scheme, which to me is unfortunately immediately disappointing. I think that, flat out for $50, I think this is a good leader class figure. I think that the Kingdom Leader Class Galvatron mold is a good mold. I think this is a nice paint scheme. We've got kind of like a pearlescent purple here that looks really nice. The gray I do wish was either a little colder in color scheme or a little darker. It just gets that like bland prototype gray plastic that I don't like very much. We've got some gray paint, some red paint, things like that. We have a nicely painted matrix, but there is no new molding on here. This is not a new toy. This is a Generations Kingdom toy, which to me, and we can get these bits off here, to me doesn't live up to the spirit of the Studio Series line. I felt like, I know we've had this before with like Ironhide and stuff. More and more stuff has been remolding. Hasbro's trying to save more and more money. But to me, the excitement was, hey, them taking like the 8631 Optimus Prime was the best Optimus Prime we were going to get at Commander Class. Taking another whack at this, I feel like the greebling could have been smoothed out. I feel like the transformation could be different. I don't think like this back isn't 100% right. I feel like these arms, this armature section, this should be like pegged up somewhere here, so it should be tighter. They could have improved this toy and made it worthy of the 86 Studio Series line, and they didn't, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it is a good toy, but it just doesn't scream Studio Series to me. And this is like the fifth Galvatron we've gotten. Here we have next to the, Generation Selects toy version, so we can see those two together. I do like here that they play off each other really, really nicely. I like the differences between a movie accurate version and a toy accurate color scheme. We've had Behold Galvatron, which I've done a review for, which was transparent. We've had Straxus. We've had this guy. We've had the Kingdom version, which is like slightly different purple paint, essentially, in the battle damage. We've had so many Galvatrons. This mold it's not like it hasn't seen a lack of use. So it is disappointing to me that there wasn't even remolding. There's just, here's the toy again in more accurate colors, which for some people, I'm sure that's satisfactory, but for me, it was an immediately turn off. I did check it out just because I was curious, and I do like the toy. But yeah, there's not much surprising here. Like I said, we've seen this transformation a bunch of times. We are just going to fast forward it. And in robot mode, again, it's weird because objectively, I think this is a pretty good toy for $50. 55, I feel like is pushing a little bit. It's solidly built. He's got all the same articulation we've seen before, nothing new. But because there's nothing new, and this is Studio Series, that is the disappointing thing to me. Like these treads, maybe they could have remolded the treads to fold them up a little better, or they could hide them in the biceps, or if they made the whole thing a little bit bigger, the treads could have folded into like the forearms. The legs are pretty solid. I mean, I don't really have any major complaints there. It just, again, it feels like for Studio Series, this is missing the mark, even if like it's, objectively a pretty good Galvatron. Obviously, he gets a nicely painted matrix. He's got the two guns that are, the Nemesis ship that I don't really care about. Not Nemesis, but Galvatron's ship that I don't particularly care about. Maybe those could have been replaced by some other accessory even to give him like more movie accurate stuff. As is, like, he looks pretty good, but so does this guy, and so does the Kingdom version. Like, And I looked online because I was curious. You can buy a new in-box Kingdom Galvatron, which is essentially the same toy here, for $40. You're saving $15. If you want a Galvatron and you don't think this paint scheme is worth $15, go get the Kingdom version. My personal recommendation would be to go get Straxus, because Straxus is the coolest version of this mold. And I still have I didn't even want to bother bringing them over for comparisons because I don't think there's a point there. But just like looking at things here, I think it's evident that we are paying for another version of something we've already had, rather than the promise of Studio Series, which was the best and most accurate version of a character to the screen. This is not any more accurate than the other versions of this toy. It's just, the color scheme is a little nicer. But other than that, I think there's not much here to recommend, because I think we've already gotten this several times. And again, it literally, if this had been like a Generation Selects toy, I think I'd be happier, which is weird to think about. It's the fact that it continues to muddy the waters of what Studio Series is that is disappointing. It's disappointing conceptually more than it is physically. I hope that makes sense. That said, I don't have a reason to keep this guy. My Galvatron is still Titan's Return. I mean, I've got the toy version, obviously, but I've also got the Titan's Return version. So that means this Galvatron is going to be a giveaway. And I think the question is, when we're talking about Studio Series and the philosophy behind it, so the question is going to be more philosophical. Do you think that Studio Series is still maintaining its identity as it's going through these changes? Or is it essentially just like Generations now? Is there essentially no value in the Studio Series sub-branding? I ask this question because obviously Studio Series, they're consolidating, right? They're getting rid of Studio Series 86, they're getting rid of Gamer Edition, it's all just going to be Studio Series. But they're also, it's things like Transformers Devastation Optimus, they don't look like the exceptional designs and toys that we saw at the beginning of Studio Series. Something like Studio Series Grimlock, either 86 or the original one, right? What was it? Studio Series 05 Grimlock. Incredible toy. Really, really impressive. Does not seem to have the same design philosophy as repainting Galvatron. So if you want to win Galvatron for free, all you have to do is go down in the comments and answer the question of the day. You go down in the comments and you say, hey, these are my thoughts on Studio Series as it's going through these changes, and I'd like to enter the giveaway. Leave a comment, and then 1 week from today, I will announce the winner. 6 days from today, I will draw the winner, so make sure you submit by 6 days, and then I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye!